It was not. I could look it up.
That was with the girl from Narnia.
No, that was Forward into Dawn.
The Forward and Dawn is, I think, the last one.
No, that was Shadow something. Shadow Fall? Was it Shadow Fall? Because it focused on Locke.
I thought that
It focused on Locke. They were on part of a Halo ring, and the Forward into Dawn was the prequel to the fifth game or fourth game.
Okay.
That was the word showed you about Lasky and all that stuff. There was a small like snippet where if focused on the ODST.
But the original one, there was an original one that I saw.
Was a trailer.
No, but there was original one series. There was original either movie series, miniseries, or something early about 10 years ago. That was really, really good. It's the one that came out like
was that the one that Peter Jackson was doing? Like he made those little shorts to show what a Halo film could look like.
I think so. I'm gonna look it up for you guys. I probably won't able to look it up today, but
well, if you like dramas and stuff, one I'm really into right now is called Goliath.
Yeah.
On Amazon Prime with Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, he actually it's like second season, I think.
Yeah, he's second season. But
can he still carry a series? Because he looks he's getting kind of old.
Oh no, he's really good.
Angelina Angelina may come back. You never know.
No, he's really good.
All right, you ready to do this?
All right,
bring us back in, Gerald.
All right. And we're back to close out the show. This is the Pop Culture Cosmos. This is Gerald Glasser from Pop Culture Cosmos, a game source. I'm here with Big Dog.
What's up?
And also as well, Josh Peterson. Oh, well, before we go into all the thank yous and whatnot, I know Josh had a lot to say about this season with Jessica Jones. He's been asking me for a couple weeks now, dude, you got to see Jessica Jones. I have some thoughts on it, man. I want to hear your thoughts. So,
okay.
Echo.
Where to begin with Jessica Jones here?
So Jessica Jones, my friend, what's your thoughts on this year's season of Jessica Jones?
I don't like Jessica Jones. I'm always afraid to say stuff like that. Remember when I said I didn't like Wonder Woman?
Yes, I did.
Eaten up by the internet.
Hey, you didn't say you didn't like. You just said you didn't hate it. You just said
hate it,
but you didn't universally praise it like everybody else.
Right. So with Jessica Jones, I just don't like the way the story is set up. I don't like how the climax happens in the middle of the season, and then the show is left to slowly fizzle out over like the last 4 episodes.
They spend so much time in the RV. That was my deal. It's like, okay, how exciting can this be if you spend a good majority of near the ending, chatting in an RV? Jessica Jones is a Marvel character. Jessica Jones is someone that's supposed to go and really kick some butt, and someone that in previous episodes from previous seasons, and then also as the Defenders, she was probably one of the best parts of the Defenders in a series that both you and I actually panned and really didn't think high of. She was one of the best parts for me. And when it comes to this season, I just saw her character being misused because she's a strong individual that should have these epic showdowns because she's got all these abilities. And unfortunately, the ending, like you said, went out on a whimper to me.
Right. And it seems like they had so many side plots going on, and at times they stepped on each other's feet. And so by the time something happens, you're like, okay, I don't even remember. Oh, that's right. That was happening. And then they have the whole thing with, spoiler alert, with Trish shooting the mom in the last episode. That was weird to me because she was in a hospital bed on the edge of death. And then all of a sudden she's in an amusement park. What a bad way to waste a good storytelling opportunity by having, instead of having Jessica shoot her mom because she has no choice, let's send Trish in there to shoot the mom. What purpose did that serve?
It just doesn't make much sense to me. It's just, the series itself is kind of disappointing, but her as a character, I still think has a lot of life left in it, but she needs to be given better material to work around and a foe and an adversary that she needs to go off against that really, really matches her level of abilities like season 1. I thought season 1 was a lot more promising than season 2 because of the adversary and who she had to go up against was every bit her equal.
Right. She almost needs a big bad. I know that's kind of the formula, but she needs a big bad that people, because that's kind of the Marvel thing, they show There's a villain, Daredevil, there's Kingpin, there's Elektra, there's the Hand, stuff like that. She needs somebody to go up against. Now that they've kind of done her origin story, I'm curious what they're gonna do with the next season because I don't want to see her fight Trish. Like that's been done before in so many other shows before, and I want to see her maybe play with some of the members of the other members of the Netflix universe. Frank Castle, maybe. Like I could see them getting along well.
Yeah. What do you think? What do
Well,
you
that's
think?
kind of like how they're trying to do with Luke Cage season 2, like the Iron Fist was in several scenes with Luke Cage, and I think they're going to start having a lot more of a crossover, like in several episodes for short periods of time. Uh, the ending of season 2 of Jessica Jones, I thought that it was kind of going to the whole, uh, because they were kind of building how Trish wants to not be the always one being rescued or protected. She wanted to stand up for herself, and I think I felt like the end of the show where she shot the mom was it was her trying to protect Jessica this time.
Right, right. And she thought that she was saving Jessica. And you know, it's weird because like they're trying to make you sympathize with Trish, but at the same time, like Trish is
Well,
she
her and Jessica, they're both very tragic characters.
right. Trish wants powers to help people. Jessica has powers and wastes them. So like they want you to feel sorry for Trish, but at the same time, like I was annoyed by Trish all season.
I agree with you on that. Just like I said, she needs to have a better role as far as her, what she's up against, what everything that's written for her, because she herself is a great character. Kristen Ritter is absolutely tremendous on screen. She's as far as the ability that she has and the way she pulls off the Jessica Jones character. But the material that she's given, unfortunately, does not do her work any justice. And I think they need to look at that as far as maybe a revamp for season 3.
The writing just needs to be better.
I agree.
Well, anything else, man? I mean, what do you see for season 3 that they need to do, or maybe some type of scenario? I know you said like a big baddie needs to come into play. Or is there anyone familiar that out there in the Marvel universe that you think would be a great fit to face off against her?
No, I mean, I know he's Daredevil's villain, but I would almost like to see her take on somebody like Bullseye or the Kingpin. I think that could be cool because the Kingpin has, he has the big man strength, and I would like to see him face off against Jessica Jones because obviously Jessica's mom was stronger than her. So I'm trying to wonder exactly how strong Jessica is.
I liked in the first one how you had I can't remember his name. What was the villain's name?
Kilgrave.
Kilgrave. I liked how he not stronger than her, but he was more maniacal, he thought stuff out. He was very
Well, I like that episode too, the throwback where he was in it and he's talking to her.
Yes,
in her mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, those are some great thoughts, man. But they obviously some work needs to be done because this is, I think, comes to a larger issue. I hear some better things that are going on with the Iron Fist in season 2, but overall, looks like that maybe a change to the actual Marvel streaming service when that comes out. Excuse me, the Disney streaming service when the contract ends. Maybe that will do it. Something different. Maybe they'll go into a different direction with different characters, but still integrate some like the Luke Cage, the Jessica Jones, and
do you think they'll carry over to Disney after this?
I think they'll create all new shows.
You think so?
I don't think they have the same type of charm as, let's say, the Star Wars, the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Because people were excited for another season of Star Wars, the Clone Wars to be coming to the Disney streaming service.
Because Marvel has already tied them into the greater mythology, though.
Yeah, they already exist inside the MCU. Everything's cohesive.
Yeah, but I don't think they're just given enough material.
Do you think that we're going to see a Defender season 2 maybe, or do you think that was just a one and done?
Well, it all depends on the ratings and what Netflix wants to do. I guess since they're still calling the shots somewhat, if I guess it all depends on the contract. See how many shows, how many series does Marvel want to run on Netflix? Because now that they have the Disney streaming service that's coming live, they obviously want to go ahead and put as much programming on there as ever. I would choose something different to go on that Disney streaming service. Maybe, like you said, maybe even go as far as maybe Defenders. They could put that on there. They can get away with that. But I don't want to see another season of Iron Fist. It would be a season 3. Maybe Luke Cage, Daredevil. These are all series that maybe are I think they should be left once they leave Netflix, I think they should be left in that. But you can utilize those characters in other ways, on other shows, on other TV series, or like you said, even I guess if any, make a better season of the Defenders if you want to go ahead and put it on a Disney streaming service.
I really enjoyed Daredevil, and both the first and second season, and his character in the Defenders, and then also the Punisher. Like how is that? Are they going to continue to use the same formula if they do transfer over, or is Disney going to Disneyfy it and make it less what it was, which made it really good, which was really dark, really graphic, really gritty? Or are they going to kid it up or whatever?
Well, that obviously is one of the most beloved shows that was on Netflix when it comes to Marvel, was The Punisher. So they would be messing up with a good formula if they did that.
I just wouldn't want to see new actors in these roles.
It would bother me.
It would bother me as well.
Like I said, that's why I don't like it when they change the main characters.
Well, because it'd be too much like what DC does,
Yeah, their TV universe, and then they have their movie universe.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
I'd probably lose any will I had to watch the shows, because especially a character like Daredevil, I don't want to see him made funny. Like, Daredevil's a serious character. If you read his comic books, like, they're super dark.
Yeah.
Well, most of the Netflix MCU characters are pretty dark.
Yeah.
I think the one who comes even close to being light would be the Iron Fist, I guess.
Well, even like Luke Cage, just the tone, like, with like the music and stuff.
Yeah, that was kind of comic booky or whatever. But I don't know. I just don't want to. I don't want Disney to Disneyfy everything.
Right.
Well, there's some great thoughts, man. Great thoughts indeed from both you guys. And like I said, we'll see what's going to happen on Netflix. But I would love to see exactly how much time Netflix has left with the Marvel universe, and see when exactly they are having it taken away from them and going, of course, onto a Disney streaming platform. That's what I'd like to see. And maybe our answers could be better. Maybe our questions could be answered better if we knew that exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think we're going to close everything out right here on our 100th episode. It's been great having you aboard with us for all of our great shows. I want to take a second before we head off the air and thank not only Josh, obviously you, my friend, my fellow National University compatriot, but also as well, Big Dog. Thank you for being on today's show. I want to also thank, obviously, Rob McCallum from Rob McCallum Films, Christopher Tyler Baker from the Fantasy Football Pater podcast, who's sat in for you guys on occasion. So I cannot thank him enough for everything he's done. Also, as well, I want to thank everybody from who's not only been a part of this show as far as helping us out, promoting it, who's actually been a guest on the show, and the numerous guests from Wrestling Podcast About Nothing, Christian Daniel Zamudio, Billy Donnelly, just the list goes on and on. Douglas Hoibu from Retro City Games, Nicole Galgazian from Retro City Games, Salvador Villa from Mario Party Wars. The list is endless. Obviously, the girls from the ladies from Wine, Women, and Words, cannot thank them enough for being on our shows as well. But to all the great guests that we've had on the air, to all the great people that have been a part of this, and to mostly you out there that have listened to our great shows. Ben Arnault from the Smoking Hot Confessions podcast, we cannot thank him enough for all the stuff he's done for us as well. Thank you so much for listening to our show, and to the great stations and great people behind those stations, from John Sweeney Jr., who gave us our first start with the Podcast Radio Network, to Buddy at Croc Radio, also as well, Ron and Ron Latson and everybody else at Gray Cloud Radio, Croc Radio, like I said, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, KBOG 97.9 FM, our first over-the-air FM station. Cannot thank you enough for everything that you've done for us and allowing us on your station. WZQR, our second over-the-air FM station. Thank you so much for allowing us to be on the air as well. MileHighRadio.com out of Colorado. Cannot thank you enough for being on your station as well during the peak afternoons. IPMNation.com. It's been a pleasure working with you as well, and thank you enough for allowing us on your Channel 1. Like I said, Gray Cloud Radio, Croc Radio, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting. For overseas, and I'll tell you what, including outside the U.S. when it comes to Croc Radio in Canada, thank you so much. But if you're in the UK and you've listened to us on the awesome Matthew Richards Radio, Matthew, just thank you so much for allowing us on your station. Thank you so much. And everybody check out his great station, Sword Radio UK. You guys have been tremendous over there, and I cannot thank you enough as well. In Australia, I want to thank the kids at Youth Jam Radio in Perth. I wish you all this much success for everything you're doing, and I hope you continue with that. And thank you so much for playing our show. In fact, we love the fact that you actually take our show and put it into a 2-hour format and mix pop music with it. We thought that was a real cool and novel idea, and makes this even more what we were looking for when we were creating the show, and that was a radio type format. Variety FM, IP switch. If you want to check out a great station as well in Australia, check them out, because they've been so tremendous with us, and they love the fact that when we send over our promos promoting the show as well. Cannot thank you enough for allowing us on the air. And to all the different stations on podcast networks, from the ESO network, Mike and Mike that's out there, thank you so much for being a part of the Pop Culture Cosmos scene, allow us on your network. Also as well, Weeby Geeks, Mark from Tangent Bound, you've been tremendous in supporting our podcast the whole entire time. To everyone out there from Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and to the probably 30 to 50 different podcast networks that you can find our show on. Just cannot say thank you enough to everyone who has ever listened to our show, and everyone who continues to listen to our show. Just cannot thank you enough for making this happen. 100 podcasts in, and many more hopefully to come, man. Any last thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree, guys. Thanks for tuning in and making us getting us to the 100th episode. Most podcasts don't even get past episode 50, so I think we're looking pretty good right now. The future looks bright. We're hoping I've got some ideas I'm going to discuss with Gerald on incorporating some new elements into the show, and hopefully that'll bring a new bite to the podcast.
I hope so as well, but still, it's been a great time. Obviously, being the #1 show on the Podcast Radio Network for over a year now has been a tremendous honor, and we continue to appreciate everyone that listens to us. But and thank you again, Justin, for being on the show as well. Cannot thank you enough for allowing me, guys, to come in here, drive over 300 miles to just be here, just to talk some good pop culture with you.
No problem. Enjoyed it. Thanks for having me on the historic 100th episode.
There you go. There you go. So, any last thoughts, man?
No, I mean, this is it's been
memories of the way we were. It's been a good one indeed. So for Justin, aka Big Dog,
woof, woof.
What's up?
Josh Peterson,
Yeah.
This is Gerald Glassford. It's another beautiful day in paradise right here in the Pop Culture Cosmos. We thank you for listening. And here's hoping you have yourself a great day.
All right, cool. Do you have? It's 8:30. Do you have to get back to your family, or do you have? We can do like Topicocalypse on Monday if you want to do that. If that works for you.
Let's see, Monday, where will I be? I'm just that's the thing. Monday, I will be in Monterey somewhere. Yeah, if I have a good connection. Yeah, because I want to get the kids to. The pool. I promised I'd be there.
Yeah. If not, we can do like Tuesday, because I got enough episodes. I got content to last week till Wednesday. So
isn't it nice when you're ahead of the game?
Yeah.
So before I leave, you want to discuss, man? What's up?
Okay. So I had an idea. I've been reaching out to Vitabrace. I met them at E3, and they. Oh,